This is what typical modern day psychologists would say to you, Frank. Frank, I can't believe you went through that trauma. That's terrible. Those boys should be punished, expelled from school for bullying you. Wait, no, you missed the point. It changed my life. I went to the gym. That pain fueled me. No, we need to stop all bullying, all roughhousing, all of it. No, again, I don't think you should definitely, the type of physical hazing that was going on in college and universities, that was too much. But like you should be able to tape the freshman to the fucking goalpost. You should be able to the freshmen should carry your pads. There should be a level of hazing. It's called the United States Marine Corps. You should be able to there should be a rite of passage for men. That rite of passage for us then causes us to affect change. And that's a sacrifice that we give to be part of a group that is stronger than us. When we do that, that's when men become their best masculine selves. And we're trying everything we can to get as far away from that as possible. Then you can keep doing it as much as you want. I'm going to keep watching the NFL. I love MMA. I love going to the gym every day. I still like watching men compete with other men. I still like watching like boxing, etc. And I still like being part of a group where me and other men and women are working together to accomplish goals. I think that's the apex of human existence. And we need to encourage that. Competitive nature is fantastic. A rising tide raises all ships. The entire world is better when people are more competitive and they take accountability for their own actions. The entire world is better whenever we exist in a world like that.
We talked about it. You talked about it when you were giving the examples of high status and low status, that high status individuals will get out of their own way and they'll go through an initiation. They'll surrender to learning through another individual. Like, it is a part of becoming a high value, high status man and or woman. It's having this initiation journey that you go through. Sometimes it happens in teenage years. Now that's obviously been taken out of society. So boys and young men need to find their own way. But I think that's a big reason as to why, when we look at men that are in their 20s, they're as weak, feminized, low status as they could be, because they didn't have to go through the bullying, the initiation, the things that you and I did growing up.
They were like roughhousing doesn't happen anymore. Like, dude, you go outside and kids are out there like slap boxing or like just pretending beating each other up in wrestling. Nobody was fucking killing each other. We were fucking around. But like, you can't even do that anymore. They're just like, oh, they're picking on no, man. It's just there was a certain level where I got picked on when I was a freshman in high school. You know what that did? It caused me to try to get the strongest bench press of anybody on my football team because of what happened to me when I was a freshman. That's not bad. I know for some people it seems like it's bad. It's not. I know some people are out there that are very sensitive, but the problem is those sensitive men, we need insensitive men to put out the fires. We need insensitive men to serve in our infantry. We need insensitive, violent men to be part of our police force and to be part of our military. It's just the way the world works. We need studious, fastidious men to construct our buildings. These are the things that we need to reward so society continues to move forward. Those are the things that we used to reward. We don't anymore. And so because of that, that's why you see so many men that are like, no, that's bullying. Like, by the way, actual bullying is different. Bullying is like a kid who weighs 40 pounds more than you is like beating you up and taking your lunch money. That's a crime. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like, there's popular kids and unpopular kids, and you think that just somehow we need to legislate that all of us are popular. That the world's never going to work like that. The quarterback of the football team is still going to date the head cheerleader. He's still going to take your girl. We don't need to do anything to legislate that. You don't wish the game was easier. Wish that you were better. That's what happens. And we've lost that. And that is what makes this experience of being a man so great, is that you do experience these failures. You get picked over. When you get to a point where you've dealt with so much rejection, you take your credit card out, you spit on it, and you charge it to the fucking game because it doesn't bother you anymore. It's just a data point now. And you get better and better and better. And you look back and like, man, I have some of my clients in their early 20s. I'm teaching them shit that I learned 25 years ago. And I'm so jealous of them because they're not going to have to make the mistakes that I made. They're not going to have to make any of these mistakes that I made. These guys are going to have a fucking scalable business by 27, and they're going to have the girl of their dreams chasing after them by the time they're 28. And I'm just like, man, you're so lucky. You don't have to make these mistakes that I made before. But I look back at this journey and I'm just so grateful that I got to go through this journey, these hardships. man, oh man, I'm just so, what a privilege it was for me to serve in the U.S. military. Like, I don't want to take that away. I was like, it's horrible. You had to go through that. I bet they bullied you. Yeah, they fucking bullied me. Yes, they bullied me. There were officers in my squadron who did not like me very much and picked on me. Yes, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. There were guys on my football team who treated me like shit. I wouldn't trade it for anything. When you first go to jiu-jitsu class, the fucking teacher wipes the floor with you because you don't know how to get out of the guard position. You don't know what you're doing. You're out of breath. They beat the crap out of you, and I wouldn't trade it for anything because it makes you stronger. That's the whole point. And we just got to this point where it's like, well, no, society can protect us. Our machines and the internet, and we don't need to be bullied or go through any of these stresses. And the reality is that's just not how the world works. That just isn't. And it's not a very attractive way to be as a man.
Yeah, let's talk about confidence. I agree 100% with all of that. A guy that's out there, though, he's mid to late 20s. He grew up in this, soft culture. It's been beaten out of him. The masculinity has been ripped out of his soul. He's had all this defeat now in life. And when he looks himself in the mirror, like he doesn't see somebody that's proud to be. Like his confidence in who he is, very, very low. I love what you said there, man. You're helping these young men that you work with build the business, but then become the prize in the relationship. How do we get more men to see themselves as the prize? So when you do throw that line out there, she rejects you. It's like, that's her loss. Like the next one's gonna, like, I'm the prize in the relationship. Yeah.
So one of the things that happens as men, is that there's a lot that we have to do to become maximally attractive. Just consider the yacht, the guy and the girl on the yacht. How'd the guy get on the yacht? He had to fail at business 3 or 4 times, take out loans, eventually repay those loans, screw up in business several times, spend several $100,000 probably learning from different people like Russell Brunson and Alex Hormozy, whatever it is. Like he had to go through trials and tribulations, hire and fire people, go through all the stress. And eventually he had a scalable business. It took off. And now he has the money to buy the yacht. Okay. Then let's figure out how did the girl get on the yacht. She was hot and 21 and she got invited by some club promoter. That's how the guy and the girl get on the yacht. For men, there's so many things that are baked in for us. That's why men are most attractive. Like men get their most right swipes on dating apps around the age of 38. Women do between 23 and 25. And so when you see that, there's just so much more that goes into making a man attractive. And so you have to do, what was the original question? I think I'm getting off topic.
Reframing of men seeing themselves as the prize within a relationship.
Yeah. So the reason why they don't see themselves as the prize is because they have to put in that work in order to get to the point where they actually are the prize. So it's, like I said before, remember high status men, women, and low status men. Most men aren't actually the prize. Most men will go through life and the women that they date have far more optionality than they do. There's a couple of men at the top who are just like, they have the optionality that they actually have optionality with women. And these women think that they have the same optionality as their boyfriends, but they don't, because these women can't get that many men to commit, whereas these men can get infinite numbers of women to commit. And you see these guys all the time, these high earners, high performers, these guys like this, like it's very rare. Dude, there's a crazy studies I was seeing, like rates of infidelity drop the more money you make as a man. That's crazy. Dude, when you think about how crazy that is, like the men in the top 20th percentile are like far more likely to get cheated on. That's fucking crazy. I was reading some of these studies and it's just mind boggling when you see this stuff. It just really shows we are hairless murder apes that are only addicted to status. And so, I mean, that's just another example of what I was saying before. It's like, as men, we have to go through a rite of passage. We have to do all these things to make ourselves more attractive. And as a result of doing so, then eventually we become the prize. So it's a couple of things. Understand intersexual dynamics, male and female nature, but at the same time, lift yourself up to become a rarer and rarer object. If you understand that only, I believe, 17% of the U.S. population makes over $100,000 a year, make more money, get a scalable business, find some level of independence. And then also, dude, this is another thing I recommend to people. This is way off topic, but like building a brand. If you build a brand, it helps your business and your dating life. Guys, if you build a brand, it gives you an optionality with dating and it helps your business. Building a brand is a great way. It's one of the things in Men of Action, we have 10 pillars, but we actually go over brand building in the program. And it just gives you so many options to be able to network. Like, for instance, there's huge celebrities I want to network with. Me being a performance coach, they're never going to talk to me. Me having a podcast, though, they have a reason to come on. And so what is that? That's part of brand building. So there's just all of these different ways that you as a man, you can become. And so as you level up as a man, then you become the prize. And then the thing is, you have to recognize you are the prize. So what happens often is you'll have, a woman who's in her early 20s, maybe you're in your early 20s. Let's say you guys get married together around 27. What happens is the two of you get older. This is just a function of biology. You as a man, as you make more money and you become more seasoned, you become more attractive, and she doesn't. She's just not going to become more. It's just a function of biology. Get mad at me as you want. Her options are going to get less and less. And what happens is the concept of the mutiny that Ryan Terabane talks about is in the book, The Value of Others. He's like, you started off in the relationship and these were the rules. And as it got older, the two of you got older, she started changing the rules in the relationship. And you start seeing these high status, super accomplished men just being beaten down by their wives because she's mutiny. She's the mutiny now, or she's the mutineer. She's trying to change the direction of the relationship. And so you have a decision to make. Do I end this relationship now? Do I quash the mutiny? What happened to mutineers, back in the 1500s? They'd walk the plank. You know what I'm saying? You kick them off the boat. So that's kind of the situation where we are now, where it's like you see these men who are highly accomplished, wealthy, they got everything going for them. And then they have wives who are like telling them what to do. Dr. Phil would be a great example. Dr. Phil saying that his wife said that he was superfluous. Stuff like crazy, like the man's worth $400 million and his wife runs his life. Like that kind of stuff would be a great example where you'd see like this guy is in a situation where he would be this incredible high status man. But what's happened is in his relationship, there's been a mutiny and he didn't see it coming. And so that's one of the things we have to understand is when you're very successful as a man, Steven Crowder would be another example of this, where it's like he gets married to a woman, makes a bunch of money, has no prenup, and then she eventually like wants to divorce him and he has no way to defend himself. That's where he's put himself. Because why is that? Because he had very little experience with women. He didn't understand sexual dynamics. He married the first woman he had sex with. And because of that, he's been taken advantage of because he just didn't understand the opposite gender. And so that's where men end up doing. So if you work so much on success and money and don't understand women, you become what's called a financial target. And so that's something that men also have to be aware of.